Harlequin Intrigue and Harper Audio present K-9 Guardians by Nichole Severn, performed by Heidi Filici. Chapter 1. They were coming. Scarlett Beam stared at the security feed longer than she should have. Seconds ticked off one by one, putting everyone in this building in more danger the longer she refused to move. She had to be sure. To confirm she wasn't seeing things coming off a 24-hour shift. Dust kicked up in front of the perimeter cameras and blocked out early morning sun coming up over the cliffs to the west. "Don't make me do this," she said to herself. She couldn't make the call until she had visual confirmation. Her hand hovered over the alarm she'd hand-wired throughout the building. One press. That was all it would take to start an outright war. She licked at dry lips. The dust cleared, revealing 4 fully loaded and most likely bulletproof SUVs coming straight at Socorro's headquarters. Every cell in her body spiked with battle-ready tension. Sangre por sangre had crossed the line. Scarlett slammed her hand down on the alarm. Ear-piercing shrieks urged operatives into action. She backed away from the security console built with her own 2 hands and reached for her sidearm. Compressing the release, she caught the magazine and inventoried the rounds stacked inside as she headed into the corridor. Low shouts echoed off black walls, tile, artwork, and ceilings and drove her toward the armory. It shouldn't have come to this. She thought they'd have more time. Socorro Security's orders to dismantle the most bloodthirsty drug cartel in New Mexico had come straight from the Pentagon. A year of intelligence gathering, close calls, and surveillance hadn't come close to an attack like this. Each organization knew the danger of provoking the other until the time was right. Seemed Sangre por Sangre had gotten tired of waiting. Movement registered ahead as Socorro's counterterrorism agent dashed ahead of her. 2 other operatives followed after she rounded into the armory. They were private military contractors, trained in war, weapons, strategy, combat, and intelligence gathering throughout their military careers. Each of them moved with efficiency, as they pulled high-powered rifles from mounts and stashed extra ammunition in their vests. "What do we got, Scarlett?" Granger Moraes holstered a backup pistol at his ankle. The former counterterrorism agent knew all about surprise attacks, having worked the investigation of 9/11 and the ambush on the American consulate in Benghazi. If they were going to get out of this alive, it would be because of him. 4 vehicles upgraded 1 mile out. I'm not sure how many hostiles inside. Assume your rounds won't pierce the bodies or windows given Jones's run-in a couple weeks ago. Socorro's combat coordinator had barely survived the encounter as he tried to protect a war correspondent who'd gotten herself in the cartel's crosshairs. Scarlett strapped into her Kevlar as the tick of nails grew in intensity from the corridor. She really needed to trim those. Competing growls told her the vet had sent out Hans and Gruber to back Scarlett up. The Dobermans charged into the armory, most likely having sniffed out her scent, and circled in tight rotations around her legs. The K-9s had come from the same litter, brother and sister, and had learned to stick to Scarlett's every order since she signed on with the company. There wasn't anyone else she'd want at her side once they headed out into this mess. "Damn it, they're getting ballsy, I'll give them that." Granger sheathed an oversized blade into the holster along his thigh. No matter the situation, he'd be prepared. That was what made him one of the best. What made them all the best. "All right. Cash, you and Jocelyn take the high ground. I want as many targets in your scopes as you can manage in case this goes sideways. Scarlett, you're with me in the welcome party. Bring the twins. They look like they haven't bit anyone in a while." Cash Myers, the operative charged with predicting the cartel's moves before Sangre por Sangre made them, dragged 2 heavy-duty cases from the steel shelf at the back of the room and handed one off to his equally experienced partner, Jocelyn Carville. "We need to alert Chief Halsley and the rest of Alpine Valley the cartel is in the area. Make sure all civilians shelter in place until the threat has passed." The alert was sent out the moment I hit the alarm. I'm sure Alpine Valley PD is already issuing the order, because that was their job, to protect those who couldn't protect themselves. It was why Scarlett had signed on with Socorro in the first place. She secured her sidearm, hand pressed along the grip. It'd been a long time since she'd had to unholster her weapon, and that same dread that accompanied the last time infiltrated her focus. "Good, then let's move." Granger took the lead, with Cash and Jocelyn splitting off with their
Sample complete. Ready to continue?